Right. So in the previous video, we looked at the properties of ratio. Let's look at the other another concept, that is proportion. Now, what is proportion? When you equate two ratios, we call them in a proportion. Like A is to B is such that the same as C is to D. So this is one of the ratios, and this is the other one. When you equate them mathematically, how do we write them? A by B must be equal to what? C by D. Yes or no? And when you cross multiply them, the end results gives you A into D is equal to B into C. So we call them that the product of extremes means ends, is always equal to product of means. Means means the values which are between these two values. Yes or no? So whenever you compare two ratios, we call them proportion. So if A, B, C, D are in proportion, it also can be expressed as what? It can be expressed as A by B is equal to C by D. Fine. And there's another property, the important property of the proportion. If many ratios are given equal, let's say A by B is equal to C by D is equal to E by F, all of them are given equal, then find the value of A plus C plus E. That means sum of the numerators by sum of the denominators. What do we say that? The method to prove it was take it equal to x. Now, when a by b is equal to x, a becomes how much? Dx. Similarly, when c by d is equal to x, we say that c is equal to what? Dx. Similarly, e will become equal to what? Fx. So let's say I want to calculate a plus c plus e by b plus d plus f. And what was given? A by b is equal to C by D was given equal to E by F. I took it equal to X. So according to that, we get A is equal to Bx, C is equal to Dx, and E is equal to Fx. Fine. Now let's look at this. What is the value of A? This is Bx. So it becomes Bx. Plus C is what? Dx. And E is what? Fx. Divided by B plus D plus F. What is common in the numerator? X is common. So we left with B plus D plus F by B plus D plus F. I can easily cancel out these two terms and I'll be left with what? X, which was equal to the given ratios. So what we can say, if A by B is equal to C by D is equal to E by F, this will also be equal to what? A plus C plus E by B plus D plus F. So in other words, it could be ratio of what? Sum of numerators by sum of denominators, provided that the denominator is not equal to 0. Remember that. This property will only work if the denominator is not equal to 0. Fine. Okay. So if A by B is given equal to C by D, we can say that the product of extremes, that is A by D, must be equal to what? A into D must be equal to B into C. If you try to apply invert endo here, what does it mean? Invert endo means you're going to inverse the values here. So if A by B is given equal to C by D, we can also write it as B by A is equal to D by C. And the other one would be alternando. I'll change the numerator of the one ratio with denominator of the other. So now this becomes what? A by C would be B by D. Remember this, the end result will remain same here. A into D is equal to B into C. Same would be here. B into C would be equal to A into D. So it does not matter even if you apply these two properties. The end result will remain same. What's the next one? Componendo. How do we get this? When you add 1 to both the ratios, what do you get? A plus B by B is equal to C plus D by D. This is the end result. The next one is dividendo when you subtract 1 from both the sides. You get A minus B by B is equal to C minus D by D. And when you apply both componendo and dividendo together, what do you get? This equation number 1 when divided by equation number 2. This would be the final answer. So A plus B by A minus B will become what? C plus D by C minus D. Yes or no? Let's look at the application of this property. It's given that x square plus y square by x square minus y square is 37 by 12. Find x and y. Given both x and y are what? Positive quantities. And this is another one. Now, how do we solve them? X square plus y square by x square minus y square is equal to 37 by 12. Find x is to y. The best way is what? Cross multiply them. You get the values in terms of x and y. Otherwise, what you can do? You can apply componendo and dividendo here. You know that if A by B is equal to C by D, when you apply componendo dividendo, what do you get here? When you apply componendo dividendo, what do you get here? You get A plus B, you get A plus B by A minus B is equal to C plus D by C minus D. When you apply the same here, what will happen? You get x square plus y square plus x square minus y square divided by x square plus y square minus x square minus y square must be equal to 37 plus 12 by 37 minus 12. Now look at this one. Y square will be cancelled out. You get 2x square. Similarly, from denominator, x square will be cancelled out and it will be left with 2y square, which must be equal to 49 by 35. Yes or no? 49 by 35, the simplest form would be what? The 7 into 7, 7 into 5. This 2 will be cancelled out. So what do you get here? X square by y square is equal to 49 by 35. And 49, or let's not cancel out this because the 7, it will remain same. I'll say x square by y square is equal to 49 by 35. Yes or no? When you take the square roots here, what do you get here? X by y must be equal to 7 by 5. No, because 35 is not the square root of that one. So what do we get here? This is the wrong approach. X square by y square becomes 7 by 5. So what is x by y? Sorry, I made a mistake here. Actually, when you solve this, what do you get here? 2x square by 2y square is equal to 49 by 25. Yes or no? So x square by y square becomes how much? 49 by 25. And x by y will be equal to how much? Square root of 49, that is 7, and square root of 25, that is equal to 5. So the answer becomes 7 by 5. Yes or no? Now look at this one. We discussed this property in the previous slide. If some ratios are given equal to k, then that k will also equal to sum of the numerators by sum of the denominators. So let's put it like this. A plus b plus b plus c plus c plus a divided by c plus a plus b will also be equal to how much? K. Now if you look at the numerator carefully, what do you get here? What do you get here? You get twice of A, twice of B, plus twice of C, divided by A plus B plus C is equal to K. Yes or no? If you take 2 common from the numerator, you'll be left with twice of A plus B plus C by A plus B plus C. So you can easily say that the value of K would be what? 2. But do you remember that restriction? What was that restriction? The denominator should not be equal to 0. If a plus b plus c is not equal to 0, the answer for k would be equal to 2. What if the denominator is equal to 0? What if the denominator is equal to 0? That means I'm saying if a plus b plus c would be equal to 0, can we say a plus b would be equal to minus c? Now look at this case. You are looking for the value of k, which is equal to a plus b by c. And we have proved that a plus b would be equal to minus c. So finally, what do you get? Minus c by c is equal to minus 1. So in these kind of questions, you will get two answers. One is the case when the denominator is not equal to 0, and other is the case when denominator is equal to 0. I hope this is clear. Now, there's one more property, that is continued proportion. If A, B, C are given in continued proportion, what does it mean? You can say that A by B is equal to B will continue here, will be equal to B by C. If there is one more term, we'll say this is equal to C by B. So here, let's try to prove it for these two terms only. If A by B is equal to B by C, if A by B is equal to B by C, in that case, what will happen? When you cross multiply them, you get A into C is equal to B square. That means B becomes how much? Root of AC. We also call it geometric mean of A and C. We also call it geometric mean of A and C. Fine. So B is said to be the mean proportion of A and C. So if there are only three terms, how do we write it? We'll say that B is the mean proportion of A and C. And C is said to be the third proportion. So if only three terms A, B, C are given, how do we write them? A is to B must be equal to B is to C. This B becomes second proportion or third, and C becomes B is what? Second or mean, and C becomes third proportion. Now look at this. Find the mean proportion of 16 and 25. How do we solve it? Mean proportion of 16 and 25. So middle one is missing. Let's say that is X. So how do we write it? 16 is to X. 16 x to X. 16 is to X must be equal to X is to 25. So in other words, X square will become equal to 16 into 25, and the value of X becomes 4 into 5. That is equal to 20. That is equal to 20. So the mean proportion of 16 and 25 becomes 20. What is the third proportion of 16 and 25? So the first one is given, second is known to me, third is missing. Take it equal to X. So according to that rule, I can say that B square, which is middle one, must be equal to product of the first and last. So the value of X becomes 24 into 24 divided by 16. This is 8 into 2, 8 into 3. This 2 will cancel it out 8 times. So what do we get here? 8 into 3. That is 24. Yes or no? Okay. Find the sum of two numbers whose mean proportion is 6 and the third proportion is 162. Let's assume that those two numbers are A and B. So there are two cases. The first one is what? Whose mean proportion is 6. That means A is to 6 is given equal to 6 is to B. So I can say that the product of these two, which is 36, must be equal to product of extremes. That is AB. This is equation number 1. What's the next part? And the third proportion is 162. The third proportion is 162. So if the first number is A, second is B, and the third proportion is 162. So how do we write it? B square, that is the middle one, must be equal to 162A. This is equation number 2 form. I'm looking for the value of what? A and B. If you divide second equation by first equation, how do we write it? B square is equal to 162A divided by first equation, 36 by AB. This AA will be cancelled out and you'll be left with what? B cube is equal to 36 into 162. How do we factorize it? If you don't remember the cubes here, it's 36 into 162. 36 can be written as 6 into 6. 162 can be written as 81 into 2. Yes or no? And 81 means what? 6 means 3 into 2 into 3 into 2. 81 can be written as 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 2. So this is the cube. So the value of B becomes what? How many threes are there? 6 threes are there. So effectively we'll be left with 9 here. And 3 twos are there, we'll be left with 2. So the value of B becomes how much? 18. Fine. This was all about what? The proportion. In the next video, we'll be discussing about the variations.